Hey, good people, how you doing? David Taub here, co-creator of NextLevelGuitar.com. What's up? Hope all is well, and I hope your guitar journeys are going famously. Today I have a killer blues rock lick of the week for you, and let's get right into it. Check this out. One of the things I love about this lick is when I'm designing these licks and these lessons, I try to incorporate different techniques and things you can practice along with learning the lick. So the great thing about this lick is we're really going to work your string bending, and we're going to work that pinky, because a lot of times you know that pinky is the weakest of the guitar player's fret hand. It's the weakest link in the arsenal of destruction, right? The pinky finger. So this is really going to help work the pinky finger. It's going to help work your string bending and dial your ear into the proper bending. It's also features some hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. And so there's a real lot packed into this little lick, and we're going to take it, vary it. I'll show you it up close, what scale it's pulled from and all that. And before we get going on the actual lick, I want to tell you that if you would like a free video lesson that's not on YouTube, where I go into expanded scale shapes, and I'll send you that video for free, and with that a coinciding ebook that has over 21 scales diagrammed out. It's a great little ebook and video, not available on YouTube, and we'll send it to you for free. Just click on that link below the video in the text box. It's in blue. Click on that, and we'll send you those that free video lesson and free ebook, no strings attached. And for this lick, I'm basically playing it in the key of B minor, and I pulled it from the B minor pentatonic and blues scale. And in the key of B minor, those notes are B, the root, D is your flat third, E is your fourth, F, the blue note, the flat 5, F sharp is your 5, and we got A for our flat 7. And then back to root B. So that scale shape, and I'll take you in on a close shot of this also. Your basic box position, I pulled this out of, which most of you probably already know, looks like this. I'll give you a tight shot of that, but we're going to basically be up here on the top 3 or 4 strings. So you're basically going to be playing this. Now I'm throwing in an extra note. I'm throwing in the C sharp, which in the key of B is the 9th. I'm playing, or the 2nd, and that note is a great note to add when you're playing in minor pentatonic and blues. It just about always works. It's in the Aeolian mode and the Dorian mode. It works over minor chords and minor key. So it's a great note to add for some extra color. So on the top strings, we're playing basically these notes. This is the 7th fret, our root note or our B note. Notes to watch on the low E string, obviously, 7th fret, that's our root note. There's 3 of them, you can play that one. You got the one on the 9th fret on the D string, and then on the 7th fret on the high E. Those are our B notes. And then the blue notes in this scale are the 2nd fret, the F, the flat 5 on the A string, and that's repeated on the 10th fret on the G string. So this lick starts off, I just do a little pull off. So basically what I'm doing is I'm playing with my pinky on the 10th fret, the D note, the flat 3rd, 10, 9, and 7, but I'm pulling off. I'm picking the 10th fret, pull off, pull off. So after I do the pull off, then what I do is I play this A note on the 10th fret of the B string, and then I play with the first finger the 7th fret, the root note B on the high E string. So you get this. And then I go into the bend. So I'm doing that whole step bend on the B string, 10th fret, where I'm bending it up to the 12th fret. And notice I use all 4 fingers because I want to have that strength and that accuracy. And notice you got to bend that till you hit that pitch. It's a whole step. So just practice that, hitting it each time. If you're doing this, hear that's a little sour, that's because you bent it flat. You got to get it higher. Or if you hear this, that's too much. You want to hear that B. So I did this. multiple bends. So after I do the bend, I do a hammer-on. I pick the 7th fret on the B string and then hammer onto that A note on the 10th fret and pull off. Hammer, pull off back to the 7th fret. This will really work your pinky. There's a good pinky exercise right there, right? Just do a straight trill. But here's that lick. So, notice after each bend, hammer and pull off. Bend, you can even put some vibrato on that if you can do the bend and vibrato. So the last time, I let it down, pull off to that 7th fret on the B again. And then I did a bend on the G string where I bent from the 9th fret. And notice there, I have 3 fingers down. 1, 2, 3. Again, more strength. Bend that up a half step to the blue note. And then bend up, let it down, and then pull off. So you keep your first finger down on that 7th fret on the G string. And then the next 2 notes after the bend on the G string, D string on the root note on the 9th fret, and then back to that 7th fret on the G string. That's a cool little blues rock riff right there. So bend up, pull off, and then back, and then I did this. Instead of bending up to the blue note, I slid. So I slide with that 3rd finger and then slide back from the 9th to the 10th, back to the 9th. And then pull off to the 7th. And then I go back to the root note on the 9th fret of the D string. And then once I go back to the 9th fret on the D string, I start the riff over again, but this time I pick the 7th fret on the G string, and then pick the 9th fret on the G string, and then that half step slide back, pull, pick, and then just work up that speed. You can do that as many times as you want, whatever fits in the rhythm. You can do it slower. And then the last time, instead of starting the riff again, I kind of bent that note with that first finger, just a quarter to half step, that flat third, that D note to the major third. Notice I'm pulling down and kind of twisting my first finger to give it a little bit of a hook. That little whamp, whamp. And then I ended the lick on the B note, back on that D string, on that 9th fret. So here's the whole lick slow. Here's the lick a little quicker. You know, there's so many different ways that you could vary it. You know, just at first maybe just think about varying it 1 string at a time. For instance, on that high E string we're playing those notes, the D, the C sharp, and the B. Right? That's how the lick starts. So take that, maybe just keep repeating it. And then I did 2 hits on the D note. And then maybe you could bend that C sharp or that 9th at the 9th fret up to the 10th fret and let it down. Then go into it. You could do more bends on that G string, bending up to the blue note. There I'm bending it twice. And then the slide. There's so many different things that you could do just by taking parts of that lick and just varying them slightly, kind of finding the groove, what works, and then repeating it, you know, kind of come up with that little melodic kind of notes that sound good together, and then kind of reverse them, add a little, take away, embellish. And there's other ways you could vary that lick just through string bending, where you saw me like bend the note up once or twice. And the great bends that I love in that scale are like, you know, that, like I said, that ninth, bending it up to that flat third. That's the 10th, 9th fret, bending it up to the 10th. Or you could take the 10th fret, the flat third, and bend it up to the 4th, E. So you're bending the 10th up to the 12th. Right? That's a great bend. The other bend that I love is that one we were doing. That always is a winner because you're bending up to the root. In this instance, we're bending the 10th fret, the A note, up to the B. And make sure your bending is in pitch. Every time. So you got tons of variation there. And then of course you got on the G string, you could bend that note a half step from the 9th fret to the 10th, that's bending to the blue note. Or you could bend that to the next note in the scale, that F sharp, that's bending a whole step. And then that other bend I love is the first finger, that flat third to major third bend, which I'm bending on the G string on the 7th fret. Bending that like a quarter to a half a step and put a little hook on it. Boink. You know, it has a lot of character. That bend. So I'm just taking my first finger, kind of pulling down. Then I resolve it back to the root note on the 9th fret, that B note on the D string. That's a great bend. I normally don't bend a lot with one finger. Usually it's great to use as many fingers as possible because you have more strength and accuracy. Certainly when you're doing whole step bends or 3-fret bends, minor third bend. Also helps with the vibrato when you have more fingers down, more strength, more accuracy. And then, you know, just play with it. See, bend it up, let it down. Bend it up again, bend it up twice. You know, you can bend it off and kill it. You can bend it up and then just kind of keep picking it while it's bent or letting it down. And then I ended it with that slide and that tail end of the lick. So try messing around with the bends in this lick to vary it. But it's all kind of right there within that framework, just on this one lick. So it's a good template to follow when you're learning licks. Just don't learn the lick, learn from the lick. You know, and in this instance we're playing this in the key of B minor, but just take it and move it around, try it in different keys, practice it over jam tracks, right? And oh yeah, don't forget to click on that link in the text box below this video. We'll send you that free video lesson, not on YouTube, and a coinciding ebook with over 21 scales diagrammed out. Awesome stuff. And we'll send that to you for free. Thanks so much for watching. I am David Taub, co-creator of nextlevelguitar.com. You are the good people. If you get a chance, go to our website at nextlevelguitar.com. There's over 850 video lessons, written lessons, jam tracks, beginners, intermediates, advanced, all styles, acoustic, electric, finger picking. It's just absolutely packed. Check it out. There's a free 3-day pass on the home page. Try it for 3 days. See how you like it. We'll see you soon. Take care. Keep putting those guitars in your hand every day. Keep on rocking. And we'll see you soon.